Hello, I'm Lena Papadopoulou and this is my research proposal presentation. Iota was born Iota in 1968 in Drama, a small city of Greece. I studied biology in Aristotle University of Thessaloniki and I acquired my degree in 1990. I work as a secondary biology teacher. I have been educating students with learning disabilities for the last 5 years. The aim of this research is to investigate the issue of education of students with autism spectrum disorders and more specifically to study the views, beliefs of physics teachers about inclusive education, inclusion of students with ASD in the general school classroom. The issue of inclusive education. The inclusion of students with special educational needs in the classrooms of general education schools has been of great concern to scientists in recent decades. The impetus for the present study was the incomplete Greek literature regarding the inclusion of students with ASD in the general school class, the lack of studies for physics teachers, my interest in this topic and what really happens in the Greek reality. The areas covered with this research are the following: inclusive education, autism spectrum disorders, physics teachers. Taking into account the purpose of the research, the following research questions arise. 1. What do physics teachers know about autism spectrum disorder, ASD? 2. What do physics teachers know about the issue of inclusive education, inclusion of students with SEN? 3. What are the views and experiences of physics teachers about the inclusion of students with autism spectrum disorder in the general classroom? 4. What are the physics teachers' views on the factors that influence the implementation of inclusive education, inclusion of students with ASD in the general classroom? 5. How demographics affect physics teachers' perceptions on inclusive education. The issue of inclusive education. The inclusion of students with special educational needs in the classrooms of general education schools has been of great concern to scientists in recent decades. Following the proclamation of Salamanca, the educational inclusion of children with disabilities and/or special educational needs in general education structures was chosen as the only morally and pedagogically appropriate practice by many countries worldwide. An important role in the effective implementation of educational inclusion is played by teachers, whose attitudes were found to be perhaps the strongest predictor of its success. Autism is a disorder that refers to a serious form of psychopathology that usually occurs before the child reaches the age of 3. ASD is considered one of the most difficult and enigmatic forms of developmental disorders. The support of children with ASD in the Greek school can be implemented by the general class teacher, if there is no special educator in the school. The success of inclusion therefore depends on, among other factors, the experience and training of teachers, general and specific to autism, their knowledge of autism and their attitudes towards the inclusion of students with ASD. In order to fulfill my research purpose, a quantitative survey will be conducted, based on secondary and primary sources. The first part will be a literature review of previous, relevant research. The second part will be a questionnaire-based survey, on 150 physics teachers of secondary education. The investigation will have questions on personal characteristics of users, perceptions of physics teachers, regarding the education of students with ASD. My research stages will be fulfilled as follows. Bibliographic review and compilation of a questionnaire by the end of 2021. Conducting research 1-2022 to 7-2022. Recording results 8-2022 to 12-2022. Write research and submit proposals by 6-2022. Other actions by the end of 2023.